So as a marketing coordinator, you start out and you have a pretty clear path on what it looks like, so you can move up into a higher level of leadership within the company.
Absolutely, yeah. And I had a very clear path, and it was 3 months from the day I knocked my first door to closing my first deal. And I really focused on, what were my benchmarks, what were my goals to take the next step. Mm-hmm. So when I started, it was get 15 sales as a coordinator. So that's all I focused on. Get my 15, get my 15, get my 15. Once I got that, then I got my script and I was able to start training on becoming a marketing director. Then I just jammed out on that. Just making time. Wasn't trying to find the time, because that stuff you do not learn. It doesn't learn itself. So make time, whether it's staying up late, getting up early, lunch break, whatever it is. I maximize the amount of time that I had to cover as much ground as possible, because I had goals. And when I started, it was like, okay, how do I get to this next step? Mm-hmm. Being a marketing coordinator is awesome, but I want to be a director.
Yeah, that's the thing about a marketing coordinator. It's a fantastic position. We've got guys that'll make a 6-figure income, and they're going to be happy with just being a marketing coordinator. Mm-hmm. But the possibility of moving up in the company and developing yourself into a leadership position, into a marketing director, where you have an opportunity to go in and close deals down and make a multi-6-figure income, mm-hmm. that's going to attract a different kind of person.
Absolutely.
And what does some of the criteria look like once you reach that position? What does a day in the life look like?
So a day in the life, and there comes a lot of opportunities for leadership as well. So day in the life, we'll always have our morning jump starts. So we just get on the same page, whether it's competitions that we have going on, the revenue we're at, just so everyone's, again, on the same page. We're communicating. Mm-hmm. We watch motivational videos, quotes of the day, whatever it is to get energized. So once we wrap that up, that's where a lot more of the leadership, mentorship comes into play, because generally as a marketing director, you're going to have a couple guys underneath you. They're setting appointments for you, so it's a kind of a 2-step approach, mm-hmm. or 2-touch approach. But maybe some of the guys are feeling a little bit down or whatever it is. My job as their leader and as their mentor is to make sure everybody is, their state of mind is where it needs to be. And then just communication. So we're going to communicate certain appointments that I'll be running for them for the day, the areas that we'll be in. And then from there, if I have appointments to run, then I'll go run the appointments. So that entails explaining the advertising home program that we're doing, how our windows are going to benefit them, how we can help them, show them a sample window, get measurements, go over bottom line, how low we can do it for. And it's my job to be prepared. So taking that extra time, just like I take extra time to get into that position, it's not something you just learn it and you're good to go.
Right.
You got to keep going with it. So you got to read, you got to listen to podcasts, you got to just get motivated. You got to develop yourself personally to be the best position that you can be in these appointments, because I hold myself accountable to my team. Their paycheck directs how good I am at my job. Obviously mine does as well. So
you want to have a good reputation.
Now I want to have a good closing machine. So that's how that will go. Now, if I don't have appointments, what I'll do is coordinate with my guys, try to pick 1 or 2. Usually it's if they're maybe struggling or whatever the case is, then I'll go knock with them. So it's more of a lead from the front, set the example, set the tone. Hey guys, this is how you do it, and I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself.
Exactly.
Yep.
And what kind of potential is there for income in your experience?
Well, my experience it's been great, and the potential for income, I mean, really, you get paid what you're worth, and you get paid handsomely for it. You can make multiple 6 figures over and over and over again in this position. My first week closing deals for myself, that was literally the point financially where my life turned around, and I've never looked back. In financial freedom, like I mentioned before, what I'm worried about with my finances is how I'm going to invest. So, I mean, the opportunity's there to change your life.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Just the overall development of yourself personally, because JKR Windows is a tool for me to basically have the financial freedom to invest my money and end up eventually living, off of my investments and maybe some consulting and things like this. But the roadmap that I have laid out before me is one where I have financial success, financial freedom, but also all the development. So if I were to get in some sort of consulting, position for myself or anyone else, I've learned that stuff by the personal improvement that I've gotten from working for Jkr.
Awesome.